Okay, welcome to the next advanced Pong tutorial. So far we've made a couple working levels here, and we ended with wanting to test something that we had changed. The speed of the ball we had changed, and we want to test to see if that's a better speed now that we've made it 11 instead of 15. But to do that, we're going to want a quick way to get to level 2, and right now we don't really have that. So let's talk about like a little cheat code that we can throw into our game for testing purposes to save some time. I'm going to do another event here when the flag is clicked, just kind of like up above or off to the side, doesn't matter where, just don't attach it to anything that you already have. I'm going to do a control inside of that, and I'm going to have a forever block that's running inside of that. So what I'm going to do in that block is a little cheat code, and I'm actually going to comment this so that it's easy to understand for people. I'm going to say this is a cheat code that automatically advances the player to the next level. So if you think about what we would need to have happen in order for the player to get to the next level, is they would have to have a score of 5. No matter what level they're in, if they get a score of 5, the computer is going to send them off to the next level. So under variables, I'm just going to say, actually under control, I'm going to say if, and let's go to sensing, and let's say a certain key is pressed. So I'm just going to move this comment a little bit. If, I'm going to go to the P key for points. If somebody at any point presses the P key, what I'm going to do is take my variable of player score, so set the player score to 5 instantly. And what that's going to do is hopefully, if it worked properly, I won't have to actually play the first round or even the second round once I have 3. I could just press the P key and it should take me there. So let's go ahead and test that out now, and that way we can see if the new ball motion is good as well. So I'm going to go ahead and press start on my game. Off it goes. I'm pressing the P key now. Okay, so you can see that my player 1 score has automatically gone to 5. That's good. You can see that it's working. It says that I've won round 1, and now we're off to round 2. So I'm checking to see now if the ball movement is better. It looks like it is. So with my smaller paddle and with the computer's paddle, this is definitely getting trickier already. And it may be fine like this as a decent thing, although I'm up 3-1 right now, and I want this to be pretty challenging. Looks like the computer's having trouble getting it on the second bounce or on the second score. So I'm going to go ahead and stop that. I'm going to talk another way of how we can make this a little bit more challenging. If we go back to the computer paddle and we go back to how long it was taking to get to the certain position of the ball. You might remember that from way back. We decided how fast this computer paddle was going to be. Well, we could change the speed of the computer paddle in round 2, and that would definitely make the game more difficult. So that's one of the kind of fundamental changes that you would make in your game. Let's talk about how you would do that though, because I could just say under events, I could say when I receive player 1 wins round 1, I could take this entire thing that I had and put it here, and I could make it faster. So it used to take 0.2 seconds, but if it took 0.1 second, that means it's quicker, or 0.15 would even be quicker, and that might be fine. But there might be another problem too, and that problem could lie in the fact that this is a forever block that was running ever since we clicked the green flag, and now this is a forever block that's running ever since it got this message. Well, what do you think is going to happen if it's gliding 0.2 seconds towards something at the same time it's trying to do 0.1? Well, let's actually see what the game does. So I'm starting the game over from the start. I'm pressing P for points. I'm getting to round 2 right away. And try to focus on the computer paddle. Okay, I'm not doing so well at the moment, but try to focus on the computer paddle. You will notice that it's doing this really glitchy back and forth. Okay, and this is what we're talking about bugs. This is called debugging. Why is my computer paddle behaving that way? Let's stop the game for a second and take a look. Actually, even before I press stop, go ahead and look over here. The fact that they're both yellow highlighted should tell you something. It should tell you that we have a problem because it's getting mixed messages. We're telling it to glide 0.2 seconds towards that spot and also 0.1 seconds toward that spot. Somehow I need to shut this down so it doesn't continuously do that. Okay, so I'm going to stop the game and I'm actually going to think about if there's another way other than forever to do this initial forever statement. Okay, so let's get rid of that and let's go back to control and let's think if there's something like that. So I could say, for example, repeat until, and if you remember, we made a variable way back when called round. So I'm going to grab an operator and I'm going to say repeat until something is equal to something. So I'm going to go to the variable round, which at the start of the game is set to 1. And we know that at some point we change that to 2 or to 3. So if I repeat this code until round is equal to 2, then at the start of the game, when round is 1, it should go. But then when round becomes 2, it should stop this. So let's go ahead and see if that worked. We're going to test it out. I'm going to press the cheat code, P for points. There we go. I got my 5 points. And now we can see that it is behaving properly. How do I know? Well, again, if you look over here, this is no longer lit up yellow, and this is lit up yellow. So the new speed of the paddle is now 0.1 seconds to the point of the ball instead of 0.2. So that is debugging, folks. That is how you get rid of errors in your code. And now we have 2 really good levels that I'm happy with. I think it's getting more challenging. And we have a cheat code. I'm going to throw in another cheat code that might come in handy for you, so you can do this at the same time. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of right click and duplicate that and put one beside it here. I'm going to change in the comments. Let's make that a little bigger. I'm going to change in the comments what this cheat code is going to be. This is a cheat code that automatically resets the ball to the middle of the screen. Now, we haven't seen this in my videos yet, but a common glitch that I see while we're talking about bugs here is that a bug can kind of get stuck, or the ball can get stuck in the corner, or can get stuck on a paddle. There's different things that can happen. So all this cheat code is going to do is anytime somebody presses the M key for middle, it's going to place the ball in the middle of the screen. So motion of the ball, if you remember, we can put it to an exact spot. So I'm just going to say put the ball to 0, 0. Okay, and this is going to help us with testing too. So let's stop and start our game again. Take a look at this. I'm going to press M right now, M. Every time I press it, back to the middle, right? Again, could be handy if your game's glitching. We now have 2 cheat codes. You might think of some other cheat codes that you could use in your game, but that is going to help a lot. And now we do not have to play level 1 every time we want to see what level 2 is doing. We have a really good start to a multi-level game. In the final tutorial, or in the next tutorial, I am going to show you how to make level 3. And then after that, I'm going to show you how to make some unique things like a title screen and your own fancy features that I don't have in my game. So I hope you're having fun again. Don't forget to save, file save. Don't forget to download a copy since we are pretty far. And so you have an offline copy as well. Okay, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.